I now call the President of the Senior Class Cabinet, Mr. Kim Sok, to offer the Senior Class farewell.
Good morning. Wow. It is an absolute honor to stand up here today and welcome each and one of you to commencement. Liz Sisson, last year's class president, left off her speech saying, "The world's not ending, we're just taking over." Now, despite the overwhelming scientific proof, I ask you all here today, how could it have ended? How could it have ended with so much potential for the future? How could it have ended with so much left to overcome and celebrate? And how could it have ended with so much left to experience? Even here today, we will move on to the next chapter in our lives. But before we do so, allow me to reflect back to what our class has experienced, celebrated, and overcome, as well as offer a few words of advice. I thought to myself, what would be the best way to reflect and illustrate our class's identities and memories? Something I've always believed in is to choose something you're both passionate about and make it relatable. So with a little help from fellow senior Catherine Roy on a Thursday night at Skellig, I thought of not only my favorite movie trilogy ever, but something most, if not all of you could relate to: Toy Story. Freshman year reminded me a lot like the beginning of Toy Story. For instance, no two toys were alike. Some of us quite didn't have our stuff together, like Mr. Potato Head, whereas some of us came bravely far away, like Buzz Lightyear. Nonetheless, each of you came with different backgrounds, with unique skills, personalities, and upbringings. You each contributed to the hodgepodge of a class that was not quite united. However, one common thread we all had was that we were all new to college. We asked similar questions such as, am I going to get lost? Who is my seasons date? And who is this creepy 6 feet tall Asian friending everybody on Facebook? As the years would go on, just as the toys in Toy Stories had their own unique experiences and identity, our class would too. Our class was a class of change. New logo, new branding, no GB curriculum, GB 112 without a financial calculator, GB 112 with the financial calculator, no bubble, and of course, new source of late night takeout in Main Bowl. But at the same time, our class has been very, very consistent, consistently being leaders, athletes, volunteers, scholars, and all-around awesome Falcons. As only a few examples of what my classmates have accomplished throughout the years, we've had 3 seniors help lead the Bentley women's basketball team to a 30-2 record, finishing as one of the best teams in the country. The list goes on and on for other varsity athletes who balance schoolwork, their sport, try and make time for sleep, and just a little bit of fun. We had a senior work with student activities and spiritual life to help organize the candlelit vigil in honor of victims and families of the Sandy Hook tragedy. One of our classmates, while studying abroad and volunteering in South Africa, was tragically struck by a car. He sustained multiple injuries to his spinal cord. However, he persevered and would not only go on to graduate with us here today, but also would obtain a full-time job offer for Teach for America. The toys in Toy Story often did selfless acts for their beloved toy owner, Andy. The truth is, they did not do it for credit and recognition. For when Andy would enter the room, the toys would become lifeless. So too have my classmates volunteered and gave back, not for the sake of getting credit, but out of the goodness of their hearts. For example, A majority of my classmates here today have participated in service learning. Many have organized or been part of efforts such as Relay for Life, Project Haiti, and the Boston One Fund. Some here are members of fraternities and sororities who have raised over tens of thousands of dollars through their charity events throughout the years. Others were RAs who helped contribute to the safety, well-being, and development of our community, even at 5 a.m. On the day of the Boston Marathon bombings, some of the seniors here today were at the race, volunteering, and thankfully being a few miles away from the finish line. Even during our Bahamas trip, I had the distinct pleasure of volunteering alongside for an afternoon with my classmates as we volunteered at a local orphanage for abused and abandoned children. Now, while being selfless, don't get me wrong, our class sure likes to have a good time. We can fill up a green space faster than you can say smart, nimble, and compassionate. Let's be real, Skellig will never be the same without the class of 2013. And the Wave will never have better performers for their karaoke nights. Whether it was packing Harry's pub to the brim with seniors to hear our own Brian Bramswick doing it big, or having our celebration on Barstool Sports or CNM's website, you could sure tell that the class of 2013 sure like to have a good time. We won't forget the Bahamas, but I don't think the Bahamas will forget us too. In fact, sometimes all it took for us to be entertained and have a good laugh was an Exterior Lights email. We have much to celebrate and be positive about. Allow me to tell you all here today what is instilled some of my core values of positivity, enthusiasm, and appreciation. What are things that have made me who I am today. Walking across the stage today is an opportunity that many will never have. As the 2011 Bentley Senior Class President, Andrew Leffler, had alluded to in his speech, only about 6.7% of people in the world hold a college degree. When I was younger, my older brother passed away, never giving me a chance to get to know him. This tragic life and this tragic event in the lives of my family was an instrumental motivating factor for me. Being the first in my family to go to college did not feel like a burden on my shoulders, but rather a gift. That is why I will always remember that life is good, and to knock on opportunity's door whenever you can. Tomorrow's is not promised, so we must appreciate the life that we've been given. Classmates, I urge you all here today to continue to be passionate in life and embrace this wonderful opportunity to make an impact in the world. In light of appreciation, please allow me to give only a few thank yous to the many deserved, with appreciation. Mom, thank you for being the biggest role model and showing me that life truly is good. Dad, thank you for being the father I never had growing up. Sister, thank you for being the best sister in the world. And Uncle Jim, thank you for being one of the wisest men I know. To the professors and faculty, we appreciate the insight, mentorship, and guidance you have provided us. And for those of you who've had me in class, I'm so sorry for asking so many questions all the time. To the student life members, all of them, especially Nicole Shabbat-Riefridge and Maria DiLorenzo, thank you for everything you do for the senior class, particularly those things behind the scene that many of us don't see. Also to the many, many departments on campus, particularly the Bentley Police Department, thank you so much for your hard work, whether it was keeping us safe, swiping us into seasons with such a friendly smile, or helping us obtain a job. To my closest friends, and you know who you are out there, thank you for always being there and continuously showing what true friendship is all about. Remember, as Woody said, you've got a friend in me. Fellow senior class cabinet members, not only would this year not have been possible without you guys, but I am so lucky to be able to say that I have 6 more friends for the rest of my life. Finally, thank you so much to my other classmates. Some of you have taught me how to Dougie. Some of you have pushed me to become better. And some of you have taught me things from your cultures and your ideals. But all of you have contributed to making Bentley our home away from home. Do you all remember what Woody, Toy Story's main character, had on the bottom of one of his feet? It was Andy, the name of his beloved toy owner. Although we do not have Bentley embedded on the bottom of our feet, we will always have Bentley embodied in our identities and our spirits. Falcons, I urge you all to continue to stay passionate, fly together. I did not know this was happening. Knock on opportunity's door and continue to soar high to infinity and beyond. Congratulations and thank you so much.